Welcome back to The Quest. I am Nicholas K, and welcome to the finals. The finals of The Quest bring us back to where it all started. Anthony Gangone against Drake Chambers. Drake Chambers trying to make this a perfect tournament performance, undefeated still in The Quest. Gangone trying to avenge the single loss that he's had in the Quest tournament against Drake Chambers suffered in the very first match of the Quest. For the final time, let's send it to a commentary team, Wade Kruger and Arcadia.
Finals of the inaugural tournament of the Quest.
Wow, we are flying through this, and I can't believe that we are at the end, the culmination.
Nice catch, by the way, by Drake Chambers, though.
Is he going to put it on?
Oh.
That's it, mind games.
That's style points.
So these are the ratings that we've seen so far. Very similar throughout the tournament, right? Quest rating of 46.6 for Gangone, 45.1 for Chambers. Strike points, actually more for Chambers, and that's something that I'm surprised about. I think the last match with Azrieal might have put him over the top.
I'm actually not that surprised about that by Chambers because he does throw a lot of quick strikes. Azrieal a little bit more, or Gangone too. They try to ground their opponent, so I would expect the submission time to go one way and maybe the strikes go the other, but it's close. It's a very close matchup.
All right, well, and that's what we're going to see here. Just to lead in here, the very first match of the entire Quest was Anthony Gangone against Drake Chambers, the first match in their pod. Chambers coming out with the win, but obviously a performance from Gangone that was dominating.
And that's eating at Gangone. There's no, it's like when you have a long series against somebody, you might beat them one game, but to beat them for a full series, beating Gangone at the beginning of the tournament might be the worst thing that happened for Chambers.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be the motivation right now for Gangone, right? He's the type of guy that the pride of losing a match is something that's going to eat at him until he's able to reclaim that win.
He's the type of guy you might beat once, but to beat him multiple times in a row is tough.
Yeah, you got to think that Gangone went back to the drawing board, went back to strategizing the way he was going to do this match, and he's got a whole new plan ahead of this match coming up.
Well, I know he definitely didn't go to the shower, so the drawing board sounds about right.
Because he's scummy.
Because he's scummy and greasy.
You've mentioned that once or twice.
Yeah. He doesn't even look like he conditions.
Maybe over conditions, and that's why it's so silky. Maybe it's silky.
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I'll ask him in person next time I bring this all up to him.
All right, so going back to the match here, it looks like there is some sort of advantage for Chambers, whether or not Gangone is doing this under his own accord, pulling himself out of the match to frustrate Chambers, or just Chambers getting the best of Gangone. That's yet to be seen, but it looks like either way right now, Chambers has the advantage.
You wonder if that maybe he wouldn't have done that in a previous match, but showing that extra level of respect to Chambers and his ability here. He's not going to jump in and make mistakes. He's going to take that breather. He's going to find that distance and maybe, get things back to even.
Yeah, and the same thing here, right? Chambers knows what to expect, knows that Gangone is going to try to suffocate him. He knows that he's going to try to strangle him. He knows that he's going to try to hit that submission as soon as he can, and he pushes him off and clears his head, resets himself.
Yeah, this is the finals. It's not about... you want to control the match, obviously, to win, but it's not about having outweighing your opponent in the statistics now. You just need to win. And you might, have to change the strategy a little bit to do so, especially against somebody like Gangone. He's a veteran. He's not going to make the same mistakes.
And I'd also like to point out something I just saw from Chambers. That was an aggressive, after the arm drag, he kind of grinded his forearm in Gangone's face. I think he's here to really plant his own flag as well.
He's proving something. He's trying to prove that he wasn't a fluke.
He's undefeated.
Yeah.
Right. And although the stats may say that he shouldn't or has not performed at the level of the other two guys that were above him, maybe it's a little disrespect to him being 3-0 and feeling like he's the underdog still.
Yeah, and you almost wonder if that's a stylistic thing. Maybe because he does so many of these high-risk maneuvers, that's the reason he can win with a lower rating. Because these moves, they are high risk, but they're higher reward. They can end a match quicker. It's an interesting dynamic that I think is worth exploring at some point.
Absolutely, just like the dynamic we're seeing here, right? Gangone has now kind of staked his own claim and is starting to dominate the early portion of this match. A little bit more control, right? We talked about it last time. Yeah, look at this domination.
When you're somebody who has the control like Gangone, you're never out of a match. Chambers might have matches out there where, he just gets killed. It's just a bad matchup for him. Gangone is going to be in it and with a shot to win at the end of every match because of the way he controls a match.
I think you're right in a certain sense, but I think even the amount of pain and damage that Drake takes, he's always has that lightning strike ability.
Yeah.
So even though he can be dominated the entire match, there is that potential lightning strike of at any
out
moment.
Of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same for Gangone too. He could strap that submission on even if he's been, back and forth.
And
too
I think
much.
it makes sense when you look at the styles. It's like when you are a high flyer, those big moves are big. They're bigger. When you hit them, they're big. And Gangone's somebody who's going to ground and pound you and kind of wear you down. He's always going to be in it.
And I think what we're seeing from Gangone right here, at least from my perspective of what we're watching, is that he's not chasing the match.
No.
Right? Usually you see Gangone on top of him, right? Not playing up to the crowd, dominating the person and making sure that it hurts and staying on top of it. He is absolutely dominating this match, but he's not chasing it.
No, he's laser focused. He has a game plan, and he doesn't look to be deviating from it. It looks like this was what he's still in that level of like just running what he planned.
And he's not getting rattled by any sort of hits that are coming from Chambers. Chambers is hitting one hit here, one hit there, and Gangone calmly is putting him back in his place, right, throwing him back into some sort of maneuver, trying to really suffocate that life out of him.
You hear the classic phrase of everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Right. It looks like Gangone had a plan for getting punched in the mouth in this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what is going to separate him here. I think what we're going to see, just based historically what we've seen for both of these guys, is Gangone is going to try to suffocate him. Right? Look at this. Tosses him out of the ring.
Yeah.
Right? And doesn't care. Yeah, come back in when you're ready.
You could win a tournament via countout.
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
Why should he chase?
And I don't even think it's about that.
No.
I think right now he's trying to prove a point that I don't need to stay on top of you. I don't need to be that suffocating force. I'll wait for you to come back in.
Yeah.
And when you come back in, there's more for you.
And as you roll, and then you just saw it right there. Chambers had to slide in, Gangone ready, drop kick before he's even fully planted back in the ring, right to a pin. Just staying on, not letting him get back to do anything where he could get a comeback.
Yeah, this is definitely different from Gangone. We've seen a lot of different versions of him, whether it was the first match against Chambers, that match against Macintosh, then we saw his match against Pat Dynamite, where it seems like all three were kind of different. And this one, I think he's kind of settled in, settled into who he is and what he wants to do. And like you said before, it's about having that plan and just sticking to it.
Oh, he's the opposite of style points in this match. Like, short arm clothesline. Everything is low room for error, high impact. It's not fancy.
Tosses him out again.
It's not, I got to hit my big move, toss him out. Kick him when he gets back in, toss him back out. He's just wearing him out. He's just methodical. And, this is that stalker. He's picking him apart.
And I think he's just really starting to frustrate Drake Chambers, right? Because he can't do anything.
Yeah, he's not up long enough to do any of his high-risk maneuvers. And he can't use his speed if he's never near a guy.
How much of that match against Pat Dynamite do you think went into this kind of game plan?
I think it was actually a really good matchup for Gangone. The fact that he survived it, he faced somebody with a similar skill set to Chambers, and I think it kind of was a good setup for this.
And this is what Chambers needs to do, right? Those quick attacks, right? We're hitting that forward roll, that forward Samoan roll, and we're trying to hit other moves.
You're seeing why Gangone didn't want to give him that opening.
And, there it is, right back to it.
He was feeling it too much, got a little, maybe that wasn't the right time to go for that, but he felt like he was rolling and Gangone was ready for it.
And if you even look at it, right, Gangone didn't chase. He stopped, right? He let Drake come to him, and then that's where he almost, it was a defensive throw, right? That belly to belly was a defensive throw.
But it was planned. Like, it wasn't a reaction. Gangone is not reactionary. He's proactive. He's always thinking about what could happen in any given situation. You saw it right there.
Yep, and that's what we're seeing this entire time. This whole match so far has been all Anthony Gangone. Look at that.
Like I said, no style points, just brutality.
Look at the control time.
Yeah.
3 minutes and 53 seconds. That is a full 3 minutes more.
And conserving his energy is not hitting him. He's not throwing, he's not outstriking him 4-1, but he's just wearing him down. You don't need to throw strike. It doesn't count as a strike when you throw a guy on the floor, but it wears him out.
It's the suffocating offense of Anthony Gangone. We really need Drake. Drake really needs to find some sort of...
Not even letting Drake get up on his own, holding the arm the entire time, in control, and went for another short arm clothesline, one too many. And
there we go.
Chambers always has gas in the tank.
Boom, and a big clothesline there.
Paying him back there.
Now Chambers is starting to feel himself. He needs to start to feed off of this, right?
Yeah.
He needs to start to feed off of this energy.
It's like he's trying to fire himself up to do it here.
Right, he's trying to get the crowd behind him. Oh,
Going
this
for
is
that.
kind of early for that fatality. He hasn't really done much to Gangone. Yep.
That's what's scary about that move. You turn your back. I'm
Oh.
harping on it, but it's true.
Okay, well at least now he's still back. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, he's never.
And this is patented Drake Chambers. We're gonna duck. We're gonna hit. Boom!
And he got all of that.
Huge.
And that is why he goes for that extra flip. When he gets that, the torque he puts when he drives that guy into the mat is worth it. But it's the first time we've seen him hit it this tournament, and he's been getting by without it. So
right, but this is a little later in a match. Like most of our matches that we've seen, especially Chambers is only 6-minute match against Mathers, right? A 10-minute match against Gangone the first time, an 8-minute match against Azrieal. These matches are not, he's not built for these long-term wars, right? And that's what I think Gangone wants to turn this into. Yeah, okay, you can hit your flashy stuff, but I'm going to make you earn it longer and tougher than you've ever...
But we've kind of also seen that the longer a match goes, the less it benefits Gangone. He starts to run out of gas. If Chambers can survive this with how much control and how much Gangone has done, I mean, maybe he's been smart in that a lot of stuff he's done hasn't been overexertion, that the energy's there, like just tossing a guy. But the longer a match goes, we've seen it's been detrimental for Gangone.
And what's kind of interesting about it is that we've talked about how, you know, Gangone has jumped on people early, has controlled people early, and then that's kind of led to his downfall, right? But this is even more. So if we're saying that was his downfall and he's doing even more of it, like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, this could really go either way at this point.
Right. So it's honestly whoever runs out of gas first.
Caught him right in the head with that toe of the boot there.
Chambers is absolutely not going to give up here.
Never. Not once. Doesn't know the word.
Oh, a satellite DDT.
Oh my God, and he's getting, every one of these has extra oomph in it. He's trying to prove something. That cutter, that DDT, he is driving these guys into the mat.
Right, so I think what we're seeing here is that they both have to survive two different things, right? Gangone has to survive these fast, very damage-heavy moments from Chambers, and Chambers has to survive this overbearing suffocation that is coming from Anthony Gangone. So both of them, you know, are playing to the survival skills that they need.
Yeah, it's a matchup. It's a weird matchup where maybe they don't go together, but they both are using their strengths to take the other one down and survive at the same time.
And in a rare moment of control here, Chambers almost doesn't know what to do with himself. You know what I mean? Like
he's been getting his ass kicked. So all match he doesn't know what to do now that he has the control.
Absolutely, it's being in rare territory. You don't know what really to do with yourself. So and we're going right back to high risk.
It's interesting. It's the opposite of the two competitors here. Chambers has kind of been surviving on instinct and just going off of, and when he has control, he doesn't know what to do. And Gangone is it's the definition of control and having a game plan. And can he survive having to think on his feet now that Chambers is taking control here?
All right. Well, it looks like we're kind of jockeying for position here. See who gets the bet. Oh, nice slap to the face.
Shot.
Oh, and look at the control time is kind of evened out a little bit more. At one point,
strikes are heavy.
Yeah. At one point, it was 3 minutes more, and now he's only about 1 minute and 20 seconds behind. But Gangone,
and Gangone getting a little fancy with it.
Look at this guy.
They're both adapting to each other's styles to win this tournament. This is when you talk about not leaving anything in the reserves. You have Gangone doing Drake Chambers high flying type of offense, and you have Chambers doing taking the offensive. They're at the point now where they've almost used everything they had in their bag of tricks, and they're finding stuff that they didn't know they had,
right?
And that we didn't know they had.
Like I said, the adaptability is probably going to be the key here. Whoever can adapt more to the situation is going to be the one that ultimately wins the quest here.
When you run through your checklist of what you can do and you've hit the end of it, what do you do?
Right.
And that's going to determine who wins this
And
match.
Look at this. Chambers, I don't think he's thrown a submission on the entire tournament, and now he's pulling one out of Gangone's bag with a nice sharpshooter here. And it looks like Gangone dead center of the ring. As long as Drake can hold on to it, it might be the end here.
Yeah. Gangone's been wrestling so long in this match, he doesn't even look greasy
Pulls him
anymore.
right back to the middle again.
And yeah, he's in no man's land here.
He is in it.
Wait, but Wiley.
Oh, wow. That's a
Oh,
very smart move, one.
oof. That could have ended it right there. And that's where I talk about Gangone. He could just out of nowhere. And it might take a sneaky pin like that to win this thing. And we are jockeying. This is, oh God.
Back and forth action.
Yeah.
Kick out and pinfalls.
And you wonder, is Gangone going for these quick pins?
Oh, huge kick.
He might not have much left, and this is desperation time.
I think both of them are in desperation mode here. And it looks like...
Oh, he's setting him up for that.
Yeah, he missed the moonsault last time.
Yes.
Going for it. Nails
Hits
it.
That could be it. He kicks out.
Whew.
Has Chambers won a match in this tournament without his spiral tap?
No, I think both will...
No, I think he won with it every time.
You locked me up there.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's been a long.
Yeah, so he definitely beat Gangone the first time with the spinal tap, and now looks to probably finish. That's all he's really hasn't hit yet.
Oh, big pump kick to the face.
Nope, fatality.
Fatality.
Nails it.
Oh, and
Here we go.
He's in perfect position. He's got to end it here.
This could be the moment that Drake Chambers is going to stand out as the winner of the quest if he can get up there, right?
Oh, but he's tired.
Yeah,
He's not climbing.
Gangone's offense has taken a lot out of him.
He's
here.
climbing like there's a briefcase up there. It is. He's tired.
Here we go. Oh, and he couldn't even.
He couldn't even do the full rotation.
Didn't even have enough energy for that, and that is the strategy of Anthony Gangone. Suffocate and just take the energy out of your opponent.
Yeah, that's very telling. Oh,
but he's still got some left in him.
One. Oh,
What do we got here? Oh, Gangone, DDT.
huge DDT, paying him
in
back for the
control.
one he gave him earlier.
Yep, back in control here. Gangone is going to...
Yeah, this almost feels like Gangone survived the eye of the storm here, and he's coming out the other side, and now can Chambers do the same?
Oh, locks in.
Oh, no.
Look at that.
And
Just
you talk about suffocation. This...
On the knees? This goes to your point before, right? Remember
throw strikes in when
Wow.
you have... Yeah.
It's like they're watching and listening to you.
Yeah, I don't think they are, but they could be.
I mean,
I hope Gangone's not watching and listening. I really hope that he's not.
I would not put it past Gangone to be the guy who studies everything, listens to everything to make sure he gets the ultimate advantage, right? Those knee strikes are unbelievable. And here we go. Chambers needs to get, what is he? He's 6 inches away from that rope. All he needs to do is get there. Can Gangone hold on?
He might not have the energy. He's passing out.
And that's it.
It's over.
That's it.
Valiant effort.
Wow.
Almost made the ropes, but man, he just didn't have enough left. And you saw it. You wonder if Gangone saw that he couldn't. I mean, I know he was avoiding it, but he couldn't get that rotation on the spiral tap. You wonder if he saw that and said, I have a chance to end this. He doesn't have energy. I'm going to just put him out.
Absolutely. And I think the strategy that Gangone switched, it's the ultimate student of the game that comes out on top. And I think that's part of what we tried to do here is we tried to do the analytics of wrestling and tried to prove, that everyone's got a style and how that style admits to or helps them win their matches. And it looks like Gangone has taken on that student form of the game and has given him the opportunity to win here.
You could see the difference from the first match to now and how Gangone changed, adapted, and won this time when he lost previously.
As the co-creator of the quest, as we've talked about before, if there was someone you can envision as being that ultimate, vision of what the quest stands for, it's Anthony Gangone. He's a student of the game. We've talked about it so many times, and just congratulations to Anthony Gangone as being the first winner of the quest.
Is he actually going to show respect here?
I don't know. I guess we can leave him the floor and see what he says here. Oh,
Is it sarcastic? That looks sarcastic. I don't trust him, is what I'm saying.
Wow, a sign of respect from Anthony Gangone. As long as he doesn't jump, I know that your eyes are peeled waiting for him to jump him, but I think that is a show of respect.
And well earned. Drake Chambers deserved his respect.
It doesn't respect the fans, though.
No.
Right, and there he is, the winner of the inaugural season of the Quest. Anthony Gangone calls himself one above all, and that's what he proved here tonight in South River. So it's just an unbelievable. Here's the stats: 6 minutes of control time, the most of anyone.
Yeah. Lots of just little strikes. Getting those, like I said, getting those strikes in at the end. Chambers, of course, going to get a ton of strikes. He's so quick. He could get so many in a rapid fire time, but
unbelievable.
His run just ran out. When sometimes the high risk style eventually
there he is.
Yeah, runs out.
Season 1 winner.
And Gangone showed the consistency throughout the tournament
and resilience.
And won when it mattered most.
Yeah, lost his first match and powered through, got to the end, and he is Season 1 winner.
And what a perfect
Quest.
picture of him. Look at how scummy he looks. Congratulations, Anthony Gangone. Maybe you can afford a shower now.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Congratulations goes out to Anthony Gangone for being the winner of the first season of the Quest. We would like to extend a deep thank you to UWA Elite for hosting the finals of the Quest, as well as a thank you to all promotions involved with hosting previous tournament matches. Without you, this would not be a platform we would be able to provide. Also, a thank you goes out to Constant Pro Wrestling, the parent company of Quest. Be sure to tune into all our social media platforms for information on future events. I have been Nicholas K. You have been on the Quest.